Happy June! We've made it to June and it is time for a new journal. It is Junk Journal June. I will be working on a botanical journal, and today I am getting started on the bits and pieces that are going to go in it. I have a big pile of really boring die cuts. So let's get those fixed. Aren't you beautiful? So yeah, they turned out really well, and I want to show you how I made them. So come on, let's do this. Hi everyone, my name is Mary Lou, and this is Create Junk Journals with Mary Lou. Well, as you can see, I have a big pile of die cuts in front of me, and you have already seen what they turn into. So let me walk you through what I am going to do. To start with, I have my infusions. They're by Paper Artsy, and they are crystals, color dye crystals with walnut stain crystals as well. So they give a little bit of a grungy effect, and they're just so beautiful. If you have watched some of my videos, you know that this is one of my favorite things to use. So I'm going to be using these. I'm going to be using water, and I have a big grungy pan that I use for coffee dyeing, but today I want to use them for my infusions. I have a butterfly, I have some flowers, and I have a bunch of birds, and I think I want to start with the birds. All right, so I have all my birds here, and the reason that I cut them all out first is because it is much easier to play with them and get them colored and stuff when they're already cut, because then you get the edges colored as well. Whereas if you dye them first, if you dye the paper first and then you cut, then you get all these white edges again. And I'm kind of trying to avoid that. So for my botanical journal, I am just creating all the little bits and pieces right now. I have, of course, the big wildflowers of North America kit that I created. And I created it after being inspired by this. This is my inspiration. This is my inspiration for the whole journal. And it is absolutely beautiful. So I created all the flowers that are in here, but I made them all different. So I was just inspired by the book, used it as a guideline, and then created my own. So the other thing that I want to use in it is lots of die cuts, lots of other images from books and birds and butterflies and yeah, you name it. I want it to be a full-on journal, nature journal. So infusions. So infusions are crystals that have a dye, and like they're dye crystals with walnut stain. I was using them in a different way. I had like the little lid that was in there. I was using that to sprinkle the infusions with, and it's really a pain to do that. So I just want to, while I am using them, change my bottles. So I'm just, that sounded terrible. So I'm just poking a hole into the lid, and then I'll put a piece of tape on it, just like I did in this one. And then it's easier to get some out to use them. The birds. Well, I don't want to turn them into Sunset Beach. I want to use in the navy, the sage, and limoncello. That's the three that I want to use for the birds. So, but I also have some rust water, and what else can I use? And I have some vintage photo distress oxide spray. That is what I will be using. So, infusions. To me, infusions are some of the cheaper products that you can get for the amount that you get. Like this is, I've had this for I've had these for 2 years. Oh God, no, I've had them for about 4 years, and they're all still at least half full. You don't use a lot because the pigment that is in there is so strong that you don't really need a lot. So just sprinkling a little bit. Let me just, actually, I want to spray them wet first. Take these out of here. So I'm just spraying them with water, and you can see there's already some on there. And then I want to spray a little bit of oxide, a little bit of distress oxide spray. Not a lot, just a little. I just want that brown to just kind of come out and then have some color in the birds from the infusions. And I will go over it with water again. I want them to be super soaked. And the paper that I used for the dies, for the die cuts, is watercolor paper, because I knew I was going to be doing something with lots of water. So I wanted to make sure that the water, or that the paper, would hold up to it. Okay. Let's give it a go. I'm just spraying them and letting them sit for a bit. However, look how pretty they are. And they're still wet, so once they're dry, they will be really pretty. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray some more water in here, so that, but I'm not moving anything. I'm just leaving it exactly like this. And then I am grabbing, where did I put my paper? I can take the paper and just kind of lay it on there and pick it up. Let it drip. And I'll move it over so that it can dry. And I just want to pick up as much of the color that is in here. Next I want to do the butterfly, and I'm going to spray it with water first. And then I'm grabbing a paintbrush, an old yucky paintbrush that doesn't matter if it gets gross. And I have some rust water here. And I want to cover the whole butterfly with the rust water. As the base, and then we'll see what that does with the dilution, or not the dilutions, and then we'll see what that does with the infusions. There. And then for the butterfly, I want to use some violet storms. And some RU cerise. And I think that's it. So then I'm going to use my water again. I'm going to spray it. And obviously I need some more water in there. And I'm also going to give it a quick spray with some of the Vintage Photo Distress Oxide. And I want most of the crystals to be dissolved, so that's why I am giving it a little bit of an extra spray there. And now I am going to take a piece of paper and I'm going to lay that directly onto the butterfly because I kind of want that image onto the paper. I have no idea what's going to happen. None. Oh, oh my goodness. That is beautiful. I think I want to do that once more. So I'm going to spray some more water on here because there's still lots of crystals on here. So let's try that again. You get a bit of a ghost from the butterfly in there. It's pretty. Okay, I'm going to put this to dry. I'm going to pick up the butterfly and I'm taking a new sheet of paper and I'm going to lay the butterfly onto that sheet. There. Now I have no idea what's going to happen once this dries, but that's going to make for a great experiment. Okay, there's still lots of ink in here. So I'm going to grab a couple of tags that I've made for other kits, and I'm just going to mop up some of that color with the tags. And then I'll grab some paper towel and mop it all up. Now I'm hoping that the paper towel in the end of it is also going to turn into something really cool. But we'll see. We'll wait and see. Because this would also make for really cool bits and pieces. All right, let's get some of the flowers done. And the flowers, I want to do a little somewhat the same, somewhat different. I have lots of flowers here. So let's start with some more of the rust water. I have one of these thingies. I think they're called pipettes. So I'm just going to kind of spray some rust water on them. I want to make sure that they are the right way up, and that is not a flower, it's greens. And I really just want the effect that the rust water is going to give in combination with the infusions. They're not dilutions, it's infusions. Because everything that you use is going to be different, right? So if you're using water instead of rust water, then it's going to do something completely different than when you're using the rust water. Okay, it's the Sunset Beach. And I want some Orange County. Something else really cool that you can do with infusions is you can turn it into sprays. And I will be doing that as well. I just have to go and get some spray bottles. And I think I want some Frankly Scarlet. Let's keep them in the reds. I may take some of the in the navy as well. Or not in the navy, the violet storms. Okay, all we need now, or no, I wanted some violet storms. There. And then I'm just going to spray it down with some distress oxides. Not a lot. And lots of water. Let's just see what happens. Oh, they're bright and colorful, that's for sure. Okay, now I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did with the other ones, and that is put the paper on here first, because that way the paper will pick up some of the extra pigment. Oh, how beautiful. Yeah, that's super pretty. So put them onto a sheet of paper. All right, last but not least, we've got all the greens. All the greens. So this time I want to start with a distress oxide. And I have mowed lawn here. I know it's going to be super bright, but that's okay. I'm trying to get it so that they're not all overlapping each other. I don't mind it, but I also don't want too much of it. Okay. So I'm going to give it a little bit of distress oxide in mowed lawn. And a bit of water to get the oxidization started, and a little bit of the rust water. To start with, I think that is going to tone down that, that lime green from the mowed lawn. And it's going to give it lots of interest once we start working with the infusions. There we go. Whoopsies. That was not the color I wanted in there, but that's okay. So now I am going to grab the sage, and I'm just going to sprinkle that all over. And the sage is one that I just love because it has so many different colors in it. And then I'm grabbing the water, and I'm just going to spray everything down really well. And we'll just do the exact same thing again. But this time we're going to get some green pages. Oh, and some leaves here and there. Look at that. That is what the sage does. There's that much color in it. So I'll pick that up again. It's beautiful colors. I don't know if I want to do one more swipe with the paper. I think I do. I think right here especially, I think it looks like there's a lot of undissolved dilutions right there. So if I pick that up, then I get like all that blue and stuff. It's so pretty. I'm going to spray some water on it and go over it once more with one more sheet of paper. Because there's a lot of undissolved infusions right here. Yep. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a sheet and I'm just going to pick up all the flowers and put them on here. Or they're not flowers, they're green. Well, I have a whole pile of stuff that is ready and dry, and I would love to show you what has come out of the big mess that I was making. So the first thing I want to show you is the tags that I did. So I did 2 tags in the green, in that sage green, and how beautiful are those? They turned out really well. And then these I did in the purple and pinks, and I think they're very cool also. The oxidization from the rust and the oxide inks is definitely showing, and it's just making everything look fantastic. So first off, we did the birds. So let me show you what they turned into. They are so pretty and the colors are fantastic. Like, look at all the yellow and the green, and same here, there's some blue here and yellow here as well. So they're pretty grungy, but how absolutely stunning. Like, I don't know if you can see how many colors there are in that one. I personally am in love with the birds. I think that they turned out super, super cute. better than I expected, and that is always a bonus, isn't it? I can't wait to like use them in my journal now. And I haven't even built the journal yet. Oh, look at this one. It has like all the pink in it. And this is the cool thing about infusions. Like look at all the oxidization here from the Distress Oxide Spray. So with infusions, you never know what you're going to get. And that is exactly what I love about them. All right, so that is the birds. Then there is the butterfly. Look at this butterfly. I am going to put it on a piece of white paper so you can see it just a little bit better. Look at that. The colors are so faint and like, well, not faint, but they're like muted and a little oxidized, and like it's just beautiful. It turned out fantastic. And then the flowers turned kind of a terracotta color, which I don't mind. I don't hate it. I'm okay with it. They're kind of like shadowy flowers for in clusters and stuff. So the color is actually pretty good for what I was looking for. But again, like the colors are really cool. I don't know if you need that against the white to be able to see it properly. And then we have all the green, right? The green, that sage green, it is given so many different shades right now. Like there's some that are darker, there's some that are lighter, there's like just so many colors of green. So for a botanical journal, this is really cool. And as I'm sitting here, like I really want to do the botanical journal, but I think it is going to be more of a nature journal. I have more interest in nature as a whole. So, birds and butterflies and flowers and trees and the grass and the bees and the insects, and as opposed to just flowers. It is cool, but I would much rather have a journal that is with everything in it. So I think that's the direction that I will be going in. So that is the flowers, but I want to show you the papers that have also come out of here. So I'm going to keep them upside down because that's the order that they're in. So this is from the birds, and you can see like the bird kind of printed onto it. But how lovely is that for a page in my journal? Like look at how beautiful that all took the ink. And then there's the butterfly paper, and I do have to brush it all off really well so that there's no more ink coming off of it. But look at these papers. You can see the ghost of the butterfly right there. And this is from the flowers. Now I like the paper better than the flowers itself. Like this is absolutely stunning. If you guys want me to scan these, let me know. I can still do that now. Once they're in my journal, I may not be able to do that anymore. I may scan them anyway, but if you want me to share them with you, let me know. I would gladly do that because they are pretty amazing. This is from the sage green. And also, like, there's lots of color in there. There's the branches from the greenery right there and right there. And then same here, there's branches there. and then all the different colors from the sage. And then I put the butterfly onto a sheet and it gave a beautiful print. So I may do something with that as well. And I did the same with the greens. I put them down on the paper, and look how the rust water kind of oxidized outside of the lines. Like, yeah, it just did some things that I wasn't expecting. And the flowers as well. Like, this isn't that cool, but I wanted to show you like how that all oxidized. So this is definitely a technique that I'm going to try again. Not today. Uh, but yeah, I wanted to share with you guys how I was going to do this. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're going to try something similar. You don't have to use infusions. You can use watercolors. You can use your distress inks. You can use Lindy's if you have them. You can use whatever you have to do something like this. It is fun. It is messy. And look at the payout. Well, that was Monday. That was the first Monday in June, first Monday of a new journal. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and let me know in the comments if you want me to share those papers with you, because it is my 1 year anniversary and I have grown a little faster than I ever expected. And I really appreciate that from all of you. So if you're watching and you have subscribed to my channel, give yourself a pat on the back and go. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for all your support. And let's do this for another year. Have a great rest of your Monday, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Bye.